How you doing?
Did you get everything tonight?
And I see that some across the street. And then I see him sitting on the yard.
I'll tell you about the streets.
Councilman Morgan, Madam Attorney, can you hear us?
Yes, sir.
Councilman Morgan, can you hear
Is
us?
Councilman Morgan, hearing
Yeah,
virtually?
yes, ma'am.
Okay, as long as we stay on the record what the basis for is, so we'll have an accounting
Yes,
to
ma'am.
know that it is out of the jurisdiction or some other reason.
Indeed.
Thank you.
No, thank you. Councilman, can you hear us?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me well?
There you go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I was waiting for the bell to give me my cue.
It right. Talking about the church bell?
Yeah.
No, they already did.
Did it? All right. Good evening, everybody. Today is Monday, January 13th, 2025. This is the City of Camilla regular council meeting. We're here at City Hall on the first floor. And at this time, I'd like to turn to our interim city manager and city clerk, Sheriff Ford, to call the roll, please.
Councilman Green, here. Councilman Burley,
Here.
Councilman Morgan,
Here.
Councilman Collins,
Here.
Councilman Maples.
Here.
And Councilman Palmer.
Here.
All right, and before we get into the prayer, just want to state for the record, Councilman Morgan is out of the jurisdiction tonight, so he will be joining us via Zoom. All right, at this time, I'd like to turn to our Mayor Pro Tem and Mayor Pro Tem elect, Dwayne Burley, to lead us in prayer, please.
Let us bow our heads. Gracious Father in heavens, we come to you now at this time, Lord, I want to say thank you. Thank you for this day. Thank you for all the opportunities and many blessings that you have bestowed upon each one of us. Too, Lord, as we now go into our meeting tonight, Lord, we ask that you continue to give us the wisdom and the understanding to make the right decision for this city. And to Lord, would you also continue to be with all of our elected officials, continue to be with the mayor, continue to be with this city and all of the citizens that make up this city. Lord, now as we go into our meeting, Lord, we ask that you grant us a portion of your spirit. And we pray now, lead us in your Son, Jesus Christ's name. Amen.
Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, Mayor Pro Tem, thank you very much for that prayer, and thank everybody for the pledge. And at this time, item 3, is the swearing in ceremony of our Mayor Pro Tem of 2025, Dwayne Burley. And after council, we have the swearing in, we'll get into the approval of the business for tonight. Madam Attorney, considering that the swearing in ceremony is part of this agenda, I want to approve the agenda before we get into the swearing ceremony. What are your thoughts?
Yes, that would be perfectly fine.
All right, council, at this time, is there a motion to approve the agenda for tonight?
So moved.
Second.
Well, motion properly second, any discussion? All right, all in favor? All opposed? Councilman Morgan? Councilman Morgan?
You mind repeating that?
Yes, sir, approval of the agenda.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, no problem. All right, vote carries. And at this time, thank you, Councilman. At this time, we have the swearing ceremony of the 2025 Mayor Pro Tem Dwayne Burley. Judge, thank you so much. And we just do it right down there.
Please repeat after me. I,
I,
Raymond Dwayne Burley,
Raymond Dwayne Burley,
do solemnly swear that I will faithfully perform the duties of Mayor Pro Tem of this city, and that I will support and defend the charter thereof, as well as the Constitution and the laws of the state of Georgia and of the United States of America. I am not a holder of any unaccounted for public money due this state or any political subdivision or authority thereof. I am not the holder of any office of trust under the government of the United States, any other state, or any foreign state which I am by the laws of the state of Georgia prohibited from holding. I am otherwise qualified to hold said office according to the Constitution and laws of Georgia. I have been a resident of District 1 in the city of Camilla for the time required by the Constitution and the laws of this state and by the municipal charter. I will perform the duties of Mayor Pro Tem in the best interest of the city of Camilla to the best of my ability, without fear, favor, affection, reward, or expectation thereof. And you'll respond by,
I will.
And council, if there's unanimous consent and the Mayor Pro Tem desires, the Mayor Pro Tem, would you want to take a moment and take some pictures, or?
We could, I have my pastor here tonight, so I would love to take a picture with him.
Indeed.
And we can kind of recess for that.
Yes, sir, absolutely.
And
Council,
also with the judge.
indeed. Council, if there's no objection, let's take about 5 minutes to allow the Mayor Pro Tem to take some good pictures here this evening.
Rolling with it. Trying not for the work.
I think he wants you to be his photographer.
Gotta make the pictures look better.
I think, you know, nobody got that.
That's like. It's good up there, yeah.
Mr. Burkhead, you good?
Yeah, we good,
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, sir, absolutely. All right, council and to the gallery, if y'all don't mind, just one more time, a round of applause for our Mayor Pro Tem. All right, with that, council, back on the record here, and, is there a motion, council, to approve the minutes from the November 15th, 2024, call the meeting?
So move.
Motion is properly second, any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? And Council Morgan? And Council Morgan? I see your mic is off. Can you hear us?
Here, I'm using headphones, I guess they're not working, but yeah, they're probably close.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, sir. All right, motion carries. All right, is there a motion to approve the minutes from the December 2nd, 2024 work session?
So move. Second.
Motion is properly second, any discussion? All in favor? Council Morgan?
Yes, but
Yes, sir, and we got one more, so we'll come right back to you. All right, council, is there a motion to approve the minutes from the December 9th, 2024 council meeting?
So move. Second.
Motion is properly second, any discussion? All right, all in favor? All opposed? Council Morgan?
nobody yes as well.
Indeed. All right, motion carries. Thank you, council. All right, at this time, do we have any speaker appearances?
Please, fair one, the council, staff,
Mr. Justice, see if that green button is on, I'm just kidding. There you go.
so now, marijuana, council, staff, and to the public. I invite you all to a pre-Martin Luther King program. January the 18th, Saturday, at 11 p.m. at the depot. The program will focus on when blacks came to Michigan from 1864 to 1890. I also invite you to attend the Martin Luther King program, Sunday, January 20th. It will be at St. Peter AME Church at 10 p.m. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And, City of Camilla is,
Mr. Jester, I'm sorry, is that 10 a.m. or 10 p.m.? The Sunday program, you said 10
Everything
p.m.
in AM.
Supposed to be Monday.
Saturday, 11 a.m.
A.m., okay, Saturday's at 11, because I went,
Monday is 10 a.m.
okay,
at
gotcha.
the church.
All right, thank you. For some reason I heard p.m., I'm sorry. Okay. So it's Monday.
and ladies and gentlemen, the City of Camilla is proud to be part of this by having this at the depot. And Coach, we appreciate you. And also pass that word on to the St. Peter family and to Mrs. Carroll.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Any other speaker appearances?
Good evening, Marsha Bateman, Mayor Owens, and council members. I'm just here to request a clarification on an item. The mayor has repeatedly been saying that, referring to a survey that was conducted at some point, I don't know when, and he has indicated that this survey was, a driving point for the projects that we've had around town. Well, people have been not calling me, but when they see me, they ask me about, what is this survey? I don't know about a survey. I've not had a survey. I don't know about a survey either. But they know I come to these meetings, and so they want to know. And so I'm here tonight to ask you, someone did tell me that there was a meeting 4 or 5 years ago where y'all had some groups of different people upstairs and y'all came up with some sort of wish list. So I'm wondering, Mayor, is this what you're referring to, or is it actually a survey of the people that maybe you sent out with the utility bill and these people didn't look at it or something of that sort? Was it an actual survey of the citizens, or was it a meeting where y'all were planning, different people in the community, and that sort of thing? And just in order for me to know what I'm saying to somebody, and for the people out there to know without, say he said a survey and I haven't had a survey, and why is he saying a survey?
Sure.
So,
Sure.
would you clarify that?
I will, and council, typically, we don't, do the answer question deal, but I think to Ms. Bateman's point, if there's folks that are a little confused about those statements last week, I think we owe it to them to kind of clear it up. So there's 2 documents that are in play here. And these documents are on the city's website. So what I would tell everybody, if you want to see these documents, just go to the city's website and click on How Do I? And on the How Do I, you will see Read or View. And what you're looking for is the comprehensive plan, and what you're looking for is the strategic plan. And these are separate documents, but essentially serve the same purpose. So as it relates to the survey, what you see on the board here, this is the strategic plan. So ECG, the Metro Cities of Georgia, and as you see, this is actually a resolution that we passed. This is in September of 2021. And the point of bringing this up the last meeting was to illustrate to folks that the projects that you're seeing around the city, to include schools, was not something that was born out of an idea 6 months ago, 7 years ago, 7 months ago, or several weeks ago. This was 4 years in the making, if you will. And what you have in this strategic plan, and the reason why we passed a resolution is because we were telling the council, this is what we're going to do. And the survey that you're speaking of is towards the end of this report. And you see right here where it says community survey. As part of identifying what our strategies would be in order to move our city forward, to have it grow, we sent out and face-to-face had or asked these questions of members of the community. And you can see right here, there's a fair amount. I'm looking at the first question here, the entire community alone, somewhere in the neighborhood of about 300 folks. So that was that part. And again, this continues on down. And if you look at the, you see here 224, so they go to downtown and run errands, shopping 196, restaurants 155, special events. So this was a fair percentage of the people here in the city that we asked this question of. But beyond the strategic plan, you also had the 5-year comprehensive plan. Now, what is unique about the comprehensive plan is that in our meeting, that was actually, we had public hearings related to that. So it wasn't a situation of wish list. What you're talking about is the committee that put these together. And once the committee put these items together, we then had to legally, by law, put these to the community. And we gave the community an opportunity. So not only was it a survey, we also had a public hearing related to this. So there's 2 documents that you're speaking of, Ms. Bateman. And please tell them they go to the city website and catch both of them there. They're there.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am. You're welcome. And just so everybody know, this says 2017, but we updated it again, I believe, in 2022. Yeah. All right.
One of those was actually put together by Risa, wasn't it? If I remember, one of the things we looked at, the Southwest Georgia Regional Commission may have compiled information. Did I see that last week?
No, probably what you're talking about is the Southwest Regional Commission has been instrumental in helping us develop some of the grants that we go forward, this type of thing. For instance, when we do the housing assistance, they help us with that. And making sure. And help us update elements of our comprehensive plan that we need to.
That's part of what you saw.
Yeah,
That's
indeed.
very recent. Okay.
Indeed. All right. All right, so any other speaker appearances?
Good evening, Councilmember,
Closer.
Mayor.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to invite y'all out to a men's health fair called Hens and Hecker.
What's your name, big time?
Aaron Keaton.
Mr. Keaton. Go ahead, sir.
Some people know me, a lot of people might know my dad. Nathaniel Keaton.
Yes, sir.
So, something he was real passionate about was healthcare and cancer society. So we lost him last year to cancer. So we're doing a prostate cancer event for our men, and we want to invite the city of Camilla and participate in it. It's going to be held Saturday between 10 and 12 at Union Baptist Church. And we'd like everybody at the event to come out and participate. Thank you.
I appreciate that, my friend, and everybody, we'll have a little bit more on this in a little bit when we get to one of the items here in the deal. And Mr. Keaton, we appreciate you reminding us of that. All right. Any other speaker appearances? Sure.
Evening, everyone. Mayor Owens, council members, Levine, Mayor Pro Tem Burley, Morley, who's participating by Zoom, Collins, Maples, Palmer, Luke White, Illinois City Manager Cheryl Ford, and all. And also to Attorney Wiley, who's also on tonight, and to people who are gathered here in the gallery on this evening. Fred, let me make a correction to Mr. Justice's announcement. The program will be on Monday for the MLK birthday celebration. It will be on Monday at 10 a.m. It will be at the St. Peter AME Church, which is located at 165 East Stevens Street in Camilla. And the speaker will be Dr. Daniel Simmons, pastor of Mount Zion Baptist Church in Albany, Georgia. So we invite all of you to join us in that celebration. On today, this evening, I would like to address to Mr. Wynn and everyone else a headline mentioned in the Camilla Enterprise this past week. The headline read, Marine and Owens fall over school expenses. I'm addressing this because it was mentioned here at the council meeting. And it's just that I don't want the people to get the wrong interpretation as to what actually happened on last week. When you mention the word spar against someone, the person involved is changing something like blows. They're either literally by punching each other or figuratively by exchanging verbal blows. In other words, if one should box, they might spar with the opponent at the gym while training. Now, I didn't witness any of that on last week. And I had spoken with the two people whose names were mentioned, and that was Marine and also Owens, and they felt that the meeting went quite well. You know, there are times when we may agree to disagree, and that's all natural. But we come to an understanding. It was felt by the parties involved that the meeting again went well, and that questions were answered that were not readily known. I just don't want us to lead the public that are not here in the wrong direction or to get the wrong interpretation as to what is going on here at the meetings, okay? On another note, you all will be voting on the firework presentation for this year. The drone presentation on last year, I felt was remarkable. We all know that firework shows often lead to lost pets, disruptions for local wildfire, polluted waters, and wildfires, whereas drone shows offer a safer celebration. I commend the city for using drones in last year as they offer enhanced efficiency and improved safety measures. Drones have expanded application in photography and videography, making them accessible even in remote areas. I commend each of you and encourage you to continue to make this city, the city of Camilla, a place of pride and progress. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Appreciate those. All right, any other speaker pairs? All right. Hearing none, we'll go right into our first action item, which is the 2025 fireworks show. So council, you were given basically the price or prices of the traditional fireworks show, which is at about 25,000.
25,000 for a 15 to 20 minute show.
Okay. And then for 150 drones, we're looking at about 52,000.
That's 10 to 15 minutes.
Okay. Now, the whole purpose of the drone show, in addition to obviously the visual display, is taking the city of Camilla. This is the first drone show in this region ever for 4th of July. And the whole idea as it relates to growing the economy, growing tourism, if you will. If you're the only folks that are doing it, there's an opportunity to bring more visitors to our city. And when we are currently discussing accommodations, with new hotels and this type of thing. It's just an opportunity to do more than just fireworks. What we're hoping to do is have folks to make a weekend of it or a 2-day period of it, if you will, when they come to the city of Camilla. From my perspective, drone shows are the future. The good news is that we're already there. And as Mr. Spence mentioned, there are a tremendous amount of environmental benefits to it, not to mention the technology. So, I will be recommending that we maintain the drone show. And as it relates to the cost, let me say this. The city of Camilla, over the last 2 years, we have been extremely deliberate about the reduction of government to the tune of about $500,000. We are a lot leaner, but as you can tell, the quality of service from our city has improved greatly. When you look at our city over the last 2 years and how it looks, a lot of that has to do with Luke White and his team, but we have just been more efficient in how we do business. So I am personally, I'm not concerned about the price of the addition of this technology because you have to pay for it, obviously. But I'm also feel very comfortable in that there's no one that can say in this city that over the last 3 to 5 years that we have raised taxes or raised utility rates to pay for any of it. We have been extremely deliberate about bringing the very best to our citizens without having you to pay an extra dime in taxes or utility rates to do it. So I will yield and give the rest of the council an opportunity to speak on this, and we'll see where we end up. All right, I yield.
Mr. Mayor, last year, we had what, 125 or did we have the? 100, okay.
What was budgeted for this project in the budget?
35, I believe. I don't have that in front of me, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was somewhere in the neighborhood of about 35,000.
And where is the additional money coming from?
Economic development, the general fund. We have a few resources where if we needed to, in addition to the 35,000, if we needed to add another 25,000, we could do that very easily. Again, this money is already here or in the bank already. And again, in real savings over the course of the last couple of years, again, we've reduced government somewhere in the neighborhood, so that my guess is too bad, somewhere in the neighborhood of $350,000 to $500,000. So a one-time deal per year of $60,000 for a drone show. In my mind, we have that without stretching the budget, if you will.
And it doesn't matter how many drones you have, it's still 15 to 20 minutes. That's what I gathered from the
They didn't
material.
differentiate the number of drones, I think, to show that.
The show is
10 drones. And you can actually customize it, I mean, that's the beauty of it, you tell them what you want, and that's what they produce, so.
Now, some of these drones can come equipped with pyro, so,
Then you're back to the fireworks, though, because that's.
no,
It
just,
says fireworks, says snap, crackle, pop, so I
Yeah.
thought that meant that we.
no, so what you'll be listening to, so the drones don't make any noise, it's the music. It's the music. And, but you
So
get,
that extra that's on there that says snap, crackle, pop, it made, when I read it, I thought it was a firework on the drone.
yes. Absolutely. And you see there, we got pop, this package is best, it's perfect for those who want the best display in drone show technology. So what you're doing, you're adding 100 pyro drones. So you're having,
But it's still not gonna scare the dogs.
no.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the drones are literally about 400 feet in the air. So you're not gonna hear anything from them. What you're listening to is the music, if you will. The drones are synced, to music.
Well, I don't know how y'all feel, but I'm leaning towards better. That's the mid price. For you in the audience, there are three prices. There's a 35,000, which is what we had last year. 125 drones, 43,500. 150 drones, 52, 537.50. With all being the same time amount. I don't know how everyone else feels.
Yeah, and again, that's all without the pyro. You want pyro,
You can add a snap crackle or pop to that. If you added a snap, you're looking at 58.5. If you added a crackle or a pop, it's gonna be a little more. The snap's 15.
yeah, on top of the, if you go
On
back
top
of
of
100, of 100.
Oh, no, I was looking at it, I was still going with the 125s.
Okay, so at 125, yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So you seem to think there's around $60,000 in the budget for that?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, so we've already got 35, and again, to pull another 25. But I think in one of our accounts, we're earning back nearly a month in interest. I think the number on that is somewhere between 12 and 16,000. So the extra is not a problem. It's just obviously the will of this council, if that's what we want to see. And if you want to add pyro, that's 125 drones, 43 plus 15, 58.
58.5.
And if you want 150 drones and 15, that's 67. I don't know about that. But I think the 100 show was pretty good. 125, if you ask pyro, then 12 of those drones, 12 of that 100 would be pyro. Of that 125, 12 of those would be pyro. So if the consensus, well, not consensus, if the majority council wants to go back to drones, then what I would ask is that we give the city manager a ceiling in terms of that, so that we can have this conversation with Sky Elements to figure out what is best. So if it's drones, what's the limit in terms of money? If it's traditional, then obviously we already know what that is. So I think right now the question is, or before we get to the money part of it, is it, or I guess it's part of it anyway, are we going traditional or back to drone?
So if we budgeted $60,000, based on the population of Camille, that's $12 a person, more or less. And I would think that everybody's worth $12 on the 4th of July. Just my humble opinion. So I'd like to make a motion to budget $60,000 for 4th of July fireworks.
Okay, I tell you what, if you don't mind,
Okay.
just
I
hold
may have
that.
spoken too
I
soon.
love
I'm sorry.
enthusiasm, yes, ma'am.
Okay, but I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I just want to make sure that we gave everybody an opportunity to speak,
Okay, I'm sorry.
related to the deal.
Well, Mr. Mayor, I'm in favor with the drones. I thought it was an awesome show last year. I like the better to give us more excitement, and I'll go along with it. But I feel that in budgeting every year, we should kind of put more in the budget for this particular item. But I will go along with the 125 drones plus the SNAP.
Okay.
And I think that would give us a great show for the 4th of July.
Okay. All right, appreciate it, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. Any other comments, Council?
I'm kind of old fashioned. I like the pot, but I do like the drones too. So a mixture of it would be good. I think. So I would like it. The drones too. I enjoyed last year. I enjoyed it. But I miss that kind of boom.
Which you'll get that with the things that, with the snap crackle on the pop, it's just how much boom you want. They have 3 different levels of boom there, so, but they do, that was the part of that, given a little bit of fireworks on there. There's some, without saying,
That's right, and
the sparkle that you're looking for. Yeah.
Indeed, and I think that to your point, Councilman, the idea is that if you're having the drones, then that negates, if you will, the traditional side of the house. However, based on this technology, it gives you an opportunity to get some of that feel back, if you want that, hence the pyro side. And so if approved, we'll get on the phone this week with Sky Elements and see exactly what that looks like for us. The good news is the lead time for them is somewhere in the neighborhood of 6 to 8 weeks. So we are really going to have a game right now related to that.
But also in the literature, they mentioned that they are very busy on the 4th of July, so we would want to book them early to
Indeed.
make sure that we would have.
Indeed. Okay. All right, any other comments? Councilman Morgan, any words?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. So we might be ready for that motion. Councilman Rick.
Here we go. All right, I'd like to make a motion to spend $60,000 on the drone show for the 4th of July.
I second that.
Motion proper second, any discussion? All right, all in favor? All opposed? Councilman Morgan?
Yes, in favor.
All right, motion carries. All right, thank you, Council. All right, item B, fuel truck purchase for the airport. Council, you saw the information regarding the new, not the new, but the fire truck that we are, or fuel truck that we are leasing out there. Looking at a number of about 42.5, I believe that it says, to pay it outright. Any thoughts related to that?
I think that is a great move. I went back and looked at my notes and looked at some of the trucks of that cost. We're getting a good deal. They are very, very, very expensive. So I think that's a good move that we're making on that.
And we're actually leasing that vehicle for $10,000 a year, and we've been leasing fuel truck out there forever and ever, so.
And that was my question.
Yeah, our intended purpose is,
Yeah, that's
it's
a
in
great
the
move.
budget, he's got it as a capital outlay in the current budget.
Any other comments, Council? All right, so Council, at this time, is there a motion to approve the purchase of the fuel truck at the airport, $42,500?
So moved.
Motion to approve. Second.
A motion's been properly seconded, and if you don't mind, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, to do a friendly amendment to authorize the purchase of the fuel truck for the airport and authorize the mayor to sign all necessary documents.
I'd like to amend that motion and purchase the truck and authorize the mayor to sign
For 42.
for 42.5.
All right.
Second.
Motion's properly second. Any other discussion? All right, all in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. All right, item C, Chief Malone modification, for the spray field. Council, just real quick, as you recall, the spray field needed, some work, and we were, given a price, to do that somewhere in the neighborhood close to $2 million, that I recall. We received a Jeep loan in the neighborhood of about 1.5. Yeah, 1.5, right? And then obviously half of that, was waived or forgiven by Chifa, and we ended up paying, or will be paying back, with interest, somewhere in the neighborhood of $710,000, with interest to be somewhere in the neighborhood of about $900,000. Because of the cost, in other words, this loan ended up costing us, this GFA loan ended up costing us, or the work at Sprayfield, ended up costing about an additional $500,000 almost. Because when they got in there, they found more damage that was anticipated. The good news is, majority of the council had brought down about $4 million in our municipal trust. 1.5 of that was for Sprayfield. So the reason why the citizens never saw that or never felt that pain of having to pay that additional $500,000 is because 2.5 years ago, the majority of the council brought the money down here. So when they found the additional problems, the only thing we had to do was write a check for it, without any additional taxes or utility rates for the council. But part of what we can do as relates to the GFA loan, that you can apply to get an additional 10% on top of that, which is we end up getting about $155,000 additional from GFA. The person that did the extra work, they did the extra work for us without getting paid. So it wasn't in the GFA, again, the original GFA deal. So we paid the person about an additional $500,000. But what we told them is that we paid them about $400,000 out of our pocket. But what we told them was, hey, listen, you're gonna wait on GFA to get that other 150. So this is what you're voting on tonight. GFA has come through and said, all right, Camilla, here's an additional 155,000. And that will go directly to that contractor. That won't come to us. That'll go directly to the contractor to finish him getting paid. But the reason why you haven't heard him stomping on our doorstep is because we went ahead, because we had the money here, we was able to pay him the bulk of what he was owed for that additional work. So at this time, council, any questions regarding that?
This, and I asked this earlier, but just for the public's knowledge, the work has been done. It's already been done.
Correct.
So, right.
Correct. All right,
And we'll do that motion contingent on the city attorney approval of our loan.
perfect. All right. Interim city manager, keeping this thing on point. All right, council, is there a motion to approve item C, the modification of the GFA loan specifically for the Sprayfield project, contingent upon the review from our city attorney? Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
And again, my apologies, everybody. Who made the motion? Let's do a friendly and authorize the mayor to sign additional documents necessary.
I'd like to make a friendly amendment to the motion to have the mayor to sign all documents.
All right. All right. Madam Attorney, any words?
motion and amendment is proper and appropriate.
Okay, thank you. All right, and let me just get a second on that amendment.
Second.
All right, I have a motion properly second. Any other discussion? All right, all in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. All right, thank you, Council. All right, item D, Lynch Rackley and Associates audit agreement. It is that time of year again, everybody, and I want to make sure that everybody, especially the public, understands every year the city of Camilla and every other government entity has to go through an audit. So everything that we do here in the city has to be accounted for, audited, and sent to the state. I was happy to tell you that over the last 5 to 10 years, including last year, with other expenditures that folks have been talking about in papers and otherwise, was also part of that audit process. And it was approved by the state. So it is that time again this year for us to go through that same process, for us to look at every dollar that was spent here in the city, to make sure that it was done correctly, like it's been done for the last 30 to 40 to 50 years, including last year. So our auditor, in doing so, and I think the number that he's asking for this year, and it's basically the same, is about $52,000 to conduct it. It is inside of the engagement letter, $52,975.
And that's an increase of less than $500 investment from last year.
Indeed. So with that document in front of you, Council, and what this will allow is for our CFO to start setting up an opportunity for the auditor to get in here and start asking for all the documents that they need to get this done by the end of March. So, Council, at this time, is there a motion to authorize the mayor to sign all documents related to the engagement letter and audit agreement with Valenti, Rackley, and Associates as presented? Is there a motion?
So moved. Second.
Motion is properly second. Any discussion?
Question,
Yes, sir.
how much time do they spend on site actually looking at documents in this building?
I couldn't answer that question.
I mean, we're in a position now where we can upload a lot, so they don't have to come and, I mean, they come in the building, but they send emails to tell us what they need, and we get those documents together, and we can actually upload them. So I think that's saving us some time actually being on site. I saw them pretty frequently last year. I mean, they weren't here every day, but they were definitely here.
You don't know,
I don't get time off, I couldn't tell you.
a week or a month or?
Whatever's required to get it completed.
I mean, I would see them a couple, 3 times a week for several weeks there. They would
How many of them at a time?
2 to 3. Usually 2. And I didn't see them every day, I mean, I would hear them or just see them in passing, so.
And again, just want to reiterate, whatever they do has to go to the state to be approved. So the buck doesn't stop here necessarily. Everything that they do has to be forwarded to the state.
I did read the 2023 audit,
Yeah.
and there were only 2 items that, they just asked for some correction, and it was the same 2 things. It was just a, reconciliation on bank statements in a timely manner. It wasn't that they weren't done.
Sure.
So, so things in 2023's audit, according to the papers that I read, like I said, that was the only thing that was really, could be done better, I think. And, just in looking back, there might have been some lapse in whoever was doing that, but I don't know that Lisa was working then. I don't know. But anyway, 2023 was pretty good.
Yeah, indeed. And so that everybody, so that we, based on the council members' thoughts. So when you say 2023, we're talking fiscal 2023, fiscal 23, 2024. So we're talking about the fiscal year that ended October September 30th
the end of September
of 2023.
2023.
And so what we're doing now is the audit for 2024, 2023, 2024, which ended September 30th of 2024. All right. So can we get a motion? All right, it was in a second. All right, any other comments? All right, all in favor? Council Morgan?
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you, Council. All right, item E, HB 581. One second. Download this with the whole, so being able to turn it right side up. I know here in the gallery, I'm not able to see that. But if not, Council, you should have this in front of you. If not, that's all right, I'll walk you through it. You guys see that? All right. So Council, what we did, and what I asked our city attorney to do, and basically when I say city attorney, everybody, I'm talking about the firm. Obviously, we have Attorney Wiley, who we all know, but also inside of the firm, they also have a forensic accountant. And we asked him, Mr. Marshall, to go inside of our tax digest for the last 3 years, because regardless of what recommendation we make here today, I thought it was important for the public to understand why we're coming up with these particular decisions, if you will, just to give you an overview of why we're discussing this and why personally I'm making the recommendation to the council as is. But prior to today, we asked our attorney to take a week to put these numbers together so that we'll have something to present to you. So without going all the way deep into this, let me just say this. All right. So we had to look at our tax digest from 2022, 2023, and 2024. Now, HB 581 is designed that it is attached to the country's CPI, Consumer Price Index, which has an element of inflation inside of there. And typically that number will run somewhere between 2.5 to 3.5 per year percentage wise. And the whole point of HB 581 is to prevent assessments of property that will take the tax digest for homestead properties. Now, I want to make sure that we're clear on this. For homestead properties, beyond that CPI, that percentage, if you will. And like I said, somewhere in the neighborhood between 2.5 and 3% a year. It's the whole point. So that if you're a homeowner and you're claiming homestead, if your house is assessed a whole lot this year, 581 is designed to ensure that you're capped at that amount, so that you're moving with inflation, if you will, or with the CPI. All right. In 2022, we had a negative digest of 3.91%. 2023, as you recall, there was a reassessment, and so I call 2023 an anomaly related to the digest, and then 2024 we kind of level back out. So 2023 was an outlier, In 2024, the digest was negative 0.08%. So Owens, what are you saying? If the CPI is typically around 3%, and the homestead tax is designed to keep the tax digest from going above that 3%, what I'm suggesting to you here in the city of Camilla, in 2022, we were negative 3.91%. In 2024, we were negative 0.08%. So we are nowhere near the CPI, the Consumer Price Index, here in the city of Camilla. Now, that's not to say for the county or for the school board or for any other cities here in the county, but just we have these numbers run just for the city of Camilla. And because of these numbers, because we're nowhere near 3% and that type of thing, I'm very comfortable in recommending to this council that we start the process and start setting up dates to opt out of HB 581. But before we get into that, I just think also it's important that when you look at these numbers, that says two things about the city of Camilla. We don't raise taxes in this city, but it also says that we got some growing to do. This is why things like a hotel and scores and all of that is important, because you have to grow. But we also don't want to cap our growth. But what we've done over the last 3 to 5 years is made sure that regardless of what properties are assessed at, we've said here in the city of Camilla, we're not going to mess with your tax bill. So if your assessed value goes through the roof, we've said we will lower our millage rate so that you don't feel that pain. So we're already doing what HB 581 purports to do. So with that, council, I am extremely comfortable recommending to you that we start the process of opting out. But let me yield and just see if any thoughts from around the desk related to this.
Did we hear from the county? Are they still leaning towards opting out as well?
No, I think they're meeting, I think they're meeting tomorrow.
Okay.
So that I really don't have any information related to them. So yeah, yes, ma'am.
Well, and her quick answer, I understand that they would, are not planning on, they're planning on opting out.
Okay.
And, from what little bit I found out, I think all the other 3 cities are also, leaning toward opting out as well.
And just so everyone knows that you have to choose one or the other for perpetuity at this point. And as long as we start the process to opt out, we can always, depending on citizen input, go back and not do that. But we have to have the hearings in a timely manner in order to opt out. So after the hearings are had and we could get a different input from the public, but they have to be done by March 1st. So we have to get the input in. Just because we're having the hearings doesn't mean we're opting out, but we have to have the hearings either way.
And to the council member's point, it's going to be advertised that way, that we are opting out. But to the council member's point, what makes it true opt out is that we have to pass a resolution that has to make it to the Secretary of State by March 1st. So regardless of what we say around this table, without that resolution being done, then it doesn't work. Hence the reason why I think that it makes sense, if you will, one part of this is the statute, to make sure that we have 3 hearings to hear from you, the public. Because you guys voted for this stuff, one way or the other, you voted for it. So it's important that you get an opportunity to come and speak your mind on how you feel about it. So us voting tonight, if approved, to start the process of opting out and setting up these dates doesn't mean that we're opting out. That doesn't go into effect until you hear us do a resolution somewhere about a month and a half from now, about 45 days from now. So I just want to make sure that's clear. All right. Madam Attorney, any thoughts?
Yes, you all have done a really good job. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Councilwoman Green. I will also add that the public should be aware that the statute has in it very, very strict public notice provisions that the city will be complying with. So the ad for the public hearings will be placed in the local newspaper. It will run each week for 3 consecutive weeks, beginning this week. We also are required and have already prepared a press release that must go out to the public and sent to the newspaper. So we'll send a press release advertising these public hearings. The last thing that we will do, that the law requires us to do, is to post the public hearings and the scheduled dates of those and times on the city's website. So the citizens will be well informed of when these public hearings take place. And so that if you want to come to any or all of them, you can, and have 3 separate opportunities to do so. So that you will not be unable to make your voice and position known. As Councilwoman Green said, there might be enough folks who may make an impact to change that decision, the initial decision, but you will have the opportunity to have your voices heard.
Indeed. All right. Thank you, Madam Attorney. All right. Any other questions, Council? All right. So, Council, at this time, I'm going to read this verbatim, and then I will ask for a motion to approve this motion. So, Council, is there a motion to start the process of the City of Camilla notice of intent to opt out of homestead exemption? The Mayor and Council of the City of Camilla intends to opt out of the statewide adjusted base year ad valorem homestead exemption for the City of Camilla. All concerned citizens are invited to the public hearing on this matter to be held at Camilla City Hall, Mayor Joe Haywood Council Chambers, located at 30 East Broad Street, Camilla, Georgia, 31730, on Thursday, January 23rd, 2025, at 11 a.m. Times and places of additional public hearings on this matter are at Camilla City Hall, Mayor Joe Haywood Council Chambers, located at 30 East Broad Street, Camilla, Georgia, 31730, on Thursday, January 30th, 2025, at 6:30 p.m., and Thursday, February 6th, 2025, at 6:30 p.m. City of Camilla reached at P.O. Box 328, Camilla, Georgia, 31730, 229-336-2220, and we're at www.camillaga.net. Council, is there a motion to start this process with the language I just read and informing the public of the City of Camilla notice of intent to opt out of the homestead exemption? Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Our motion was properly second. Any other discussion? All right, Madam Clerk, do a roll call.
Councilmember Green,
Yes.
Councilman Barley,
Yes.
Councilman Morgan,
Yes.
Councilman Collins,
Yes.
Councilman Maple,
Yes.
and Councilman Palmer.
Yes.
All right, thank you, Council. Council, this motion passes. Thank you. All right. Item F, LMIG grant application. Council, as you know, every year, except last year, we had 3 rounds of LMIG, which is basically an opportunity to everybody to allow us to repair our roads here in the city of Camilla. And there's grants associated with that. And this is just one of those. And council, typically, we would send out a list to kind of get some input, if you will, from the council in terms of roads. This year, the deadline is coming up pretty quickly, but also one of the things that we've had an opportunity to do is have our assistant city manager move right around and really identify some roads that are in need of some work, if you will. And Luke has identified those roads, and at this time, I'll turn it over to him.
So, the roads we selected, they're awful. They need repaving. They didn't last year, and if it continues, they're still going to need it. It's beyond the cold patch repairs. It needs complete repaving. I divided it up evenly among the districts. A lot of the project is shared roads within the district. McDonald and 45th Street, being one of them, they're together. And Plant Street. Plant Street's pretty vital as well. You know, we have the fire department training center back there. When they get a call, they come down Plant Street pretty quickly. The last time we won is breaking up those trucks. For District of Lemoyne, I have Palmer Street, and that's going from MLK up to Risa, and Myers Street. In District 2, we got Hilliard. Hilliard Street goes from South Kearney Street over to Williford Drive, and also Singleton Street. Singleton Street is kind of weird. There's two Singleton Streets. The Singleton Street this one's referring to is the one that's parallel with Davis Street. And they're marked on your map. On the next page. This page.
Is it about a mile, Cody? Is it about a mile, the distance?
The distance, so what we did last year or the year prior, what they asked was for around 6 project areas and about a mile total of paving. I think this came about like 192. So to make the mile, what we'll do is, just one of the roads that we can extend down, which would be Hilliard, down Williford, McDonald, push that through the intersection of 45th, or Palmer. That's the reasons.
I got a question for you, Mr. White. I noticed on MLK to Reese is the back entrance of Palmer. Is that right where the school began, where you're gonna pave, or you're gonna pave the entire Palmer Street?
Not the entire Palmer Street, from MLK up through Risa.
Okay, so you're going up to the building. What I'm saying, to turning in of the Reese's building.
A little past that now. Yeah, I want to go all the way down to the circle.
Got a question. In the past, there's been some questions there that the Brown Dairy Bar is that what you're talking about? Used to be a dairy bar sitting out there, and you go in the back of Risa, that's a little alley looking street that goes in there, that's what's going on.
That's it.
Well, I understand from the past, there's been questions about the people that own the Brown Dairy Bar as to how there's encroachment by that street onto their property. Now, I don't know if it was an alley or if it was a street, I don't know the answer to that. I just know that there's been questions about encroachment there by that street or that alley or whatever it is. That needs to be cleared up when we take it.
Brown Dairy Bar?
That's what it used to be.
You're talking about
It
the
sits on Palmer Street, right? The bar.
It faces Palmer.
Yeah, it faces Palmer. It's on the corner of one and two.
Street, whatever you call it.
And if there will be any encroachment, maybe on the Risa, driveway side, not Palm Street, we can look,
Well, the Browns own that corner. Is what the question is, and the question is how much there is actually there and how much are they using of the Brown Dairy Bar property. I don't know that, I'm just saying it needs to be checked out. If you're gonna pay it, you need to pay your own property, not somebody else.
Yeah, and Chad from Stillwater's is assisting us, so I'm sure he'll do the search on the owners, we'll make sure that we don't talk wrong.
Now, I don't know whether it's a street, I don't think it is technically access, I'm not sure. And it wouldn't be between people. Typically.
this is within the utility books as well.
That would be one of the
Yeah, I
cases.
understand,
All right.
I appreciate the pictures. That was very nice, thank you.
yeah, if y'all wanna try that one down as well, I mean, I can basically show you point to point. And, we can get the chat and we'll also send as far as we can go with the project, but there's a deadline for the application being right around the corner.
Yes, February the first, so we're kind of running out of time, because we've got a lot of work to do, so. If y'all got any questions, then you can probably get it to us as quick as you can, at least within the next couple of days.
All right. Any other questions? And just for the public, I just want to point out one thing. You got, look like Sheriff Forbes, you just heard Sheriff mention, Stillwater, engineering, to help us out on this. This is again, part of this model that we have with two, managers, if you will. In this case, obviously, Cheryl's the interim city manager, and Luke is the assistant city manager for operations. But instead of, we right now, here in the city of Camilla, we have two people doing the job of one person for $110,000 less. Let me say it again. You have two people doing the job of one person for $110,000 less. And in the middle, we are using our engineers. That's going to charge us maybe $3,000 to do all of the work for us, and then pass it back off to the city manager for the council. That is extremely unique, and it's a different model that we're employing here in the city of Camilla, and that's been working great. So again, kudos to you all for that. If there's a problem with these streets, Chad will tell us, and we'll just have to regroup that. These right now is what staff is identifying. Again, typically we ask the council, the staff has identified these streets that need to get some help pretty quickly. All right, any other comments? All right, council, is there a motion to authorize the mayor to sign all paperwork necessary to facilitate the LMIG paving project as presented? Is there a motion?
So move.
Second.
Motion properly second. Any discussion? All right, all in favor? Councilman Morgan?
Big yes.
All right, motion carries. Thank you, council. All right, item G, proclamation of Men's Health Day in Camilla. Everybody, if you don't mind, because this comes from Councilman Morgan, I will turn it over to him.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and good evening, everybody, council and community. Just to start, we did have Mr. Keaton come up and speak on what's happening this weekend. And then I do plan on just adding with that. But a thriving community is built on a foundation of well-being, and this council has consistently demonstrated a commitment to policies and initiatives that stimulate our economy, that support our seniors and our youth. We've implemented initiatives to enhance our public safety, and so much more. All of these efforts, in my opinion, are aimed at fostering a very thriving and prosperous Camilla. And in 2021, which we've been having some discussions about, as of recently, just during the updating of our comp plans and work plans, this council also supported a proposal to add a goal focused on ensuring positive health outcomes for our community. And this goal has been very vital, part of what we do, because we believe that a healthy citizenry is essential for sustaining and enjoying the benefits of a thriving community. So tonight, I'm proud to speak in support of this proclamation for Men's Health Day, and looking forward to bringing also a proclamation for Women's Health Day in Camilla. This proclamation, along with intentional health programming, underscores our city's commitment to community wellness. This weekend, there is a health fair being hosted at Greater Union Baptist Church, dedicated to providing vital health screenings for men, to include prostate and cardiovascular checks. So this event will be more than just health screenings. It will feature music, free food fun, and just most importantly, a true focus, intentional focus on health awareness. So we're just encouraging everyone to attend. We really want to extend an invite out to city staff, and of course the wider Camilla, Mitchell County community as a whole. And again, that event is this weekend, Saturday at Greater Union Baptist Church. And that concludes my comments on that, Mayor. Thank you all so much.
All right, thank you, Councilman. And Council, as you can see, this is a proclamation. Typically, proclamations, I can sign those without council approval, but when you see the importance of this, I thought it was important that we put this on the agenda. When I spoke with Councilman Morgan, I thought it was important to put it on the agenda to give you an opportunity to weigh in on this proclamation. So with that, from Councilman Morgan, any thoughts from the council? Okay. So if you don't mind, council, let me just read this into the record real quickly. Proclamation, City of Camilla, Georgia, Men's Health Day, Camilla, Georgia, January 18th, 2025. Whereas the health and well-being of Camilla's male residents is vital to the strength, prosperity, and quality of life of Camilla, Georgia. And whereas men's health is often overlooked, with many men neglecting to seek regular medical care and screenings for common and preventable conditions. And whereas prostate cancer is one of the most common cancers among men, and early detection through regular screenings can significantly increase the chances of successful treatment and survival. And whereas high blood pressure, heart disease, diabetes, and other health issues are prevalent among men, can be effectively managed or prevented through early detection and healthy lifestyle choices. And whereas on January 18, 2025, a men's health screening event will be held at 10 a.m. until 12 noon at 70 East Thompson Street, Greater Union Baptist Church of Camilla, offering free prostate screenings and other vital health checks, such as blood pressure screenings, to encourage men to take proactive steps towards maintaining their health. And whereas it's important to raise awareness about the significance of regular health screenings and provide accessible opportunities for men to monitor their health status. Now therefore be it proclaimed that January 8, 2025 is hereby recognized as Men's Health Day in the City of Camilla. Be it further proclaimed, all male employees of the City of Camilla and residents are encouraged to take advantage of the free health screening opportunities provided on this day. Let us work together to promote awareness, prevention, and early detection of health issues to ensure the well-being and longevity of men in our community. In witness whereof, this proclamation is duly adopted this 13th day of January 2025. Kevin Owens, Mayor. Council, just listening to those words, the term pre-existing conditions, you remember that from the COVID period? Pre-existing conditions. It is this type of event and exercise, and thanks again to Councilman Morgan, that puts us on track to ensure that we are actively trying to identify those pre-existing conditions ahead of time so that we can get, in this case, men in our community getting them properly screened. And as Councilman Morgan mentioned, we will also have in February a Women's Health Day to do the exact same thing. So we are serious about making sure that we have a healthy community here, because economic development, health of the citizenry is an important element of that. And so I'm excited that this is being done. So with that, council, is there a motion to approve this proclamation as presented?
Motion to approve.
Second.
No, motion is properly second, any discussion? All right, all in favor? Council Morgan?
That's a yes as well.
Yes, sir. All right, motion carries. Thank you, council. All right. I think we are now to our city manager's report. Ms. Ford.
I don't have anything additional to add, but I think we'll have one announcement tonight.
All right, Ms. White.
So I spoke with the contractors on Friday for the cemetery road improvement. Phase 1 should begin sometime later this week, if not following. Also a reminder to the community, we have a post coming out tomorrow about it. So we set up a tire and the event coming on January 31st and February 1st. So.
All right, thank you. Council, I will be extremely brief. I just want to share this with you. All right. Council, these are minutes from January 12th, 2023 meeting, 2 years ago. Okay, January 12th. Now I'm gonna scroll down to the mayor's comments from 2 years ago. This is when and I'm doing this because this is an active conversation in our community right now, and I thought it was important to revisit this to a certain degree. So these minutes are from 2 years ago, and this is when we bought the building that is now known as Scores. And I want to tell you what I said 2 years ago, almost to the day. We're living in a post-pandemic world, and by the very nature of the pandemic, economies have been altered. Right now, we have businesses operating one way before the pandemic, starting operating a certain way during the pandemic, and figured out they will keep operating the way they did during the pandemic. Economics in general have changed, and they will have to find innovative ways to generate income for their citizens without raising utility rates or taxes. It is likely they will have some type of public/private partnership to help generate revenue for the city, and the concept itself is not new. I said that 2 years ago. In other words, ladies and gentlemen, Scores was never intended, right there, some type of public-private partnership. The city of Camilla was never getting into the restaurant business. What we did was invested in a building that had been sitting dormant for about 3 years. And what we're going to be doing going forward as it relates to Scores is surely the consulting contract. And again, none of this came out last week, and that's unfortunate. We had a consulting contract that was 150 days. Roughly 4 months, 5 months, somewhere in that neighborhood. It was designed that way. And it's unfortunate, and I think one of our speakers spoke about this earlier today, that some folks, to include local media, has taken this thing and twisted all kinds of ways. And that's terrible for our community, because simply, it's not true. As it relates to scores, the URA will continue to move forward with a private-public relationship. And here, in the next few weeks, we're going to be setting up the opportunity to do exactly what we said we were going to do 2 years ago. We're going to see if we can place it on the market, and if not, if there's no buyers, if you will, we will try a leasing option as we do with at least 3 other city buildings that we own. If that doesn't work, then you are absolutely correct. The city of Camilla will then enter into another agreement, not necessarily a consulting agreement, but an operating agreement, to make scores what we know it can be and what it will be. And I would argue that it would take most any business or any entity more than 150 days to figure out what it's going to be. But I'm confident in that, right? Because we were told 2.5 years ago that if you build a new Boys and Girls Club, you're going to bankrupt the city. That didn't happen. If you bring the money down for the spray field, you're going to bankrupt our MEAC trust fund. That didn't happen. If you try to build a new jail, that's going to be bad news for the city. That didn't happen. As we stand here tonight, there are nearly $8.5 million still sitting in our MEAC trust fund. The reason why I bring that up is one of the speakers mentioned earlier about the survey. And if you go see that survey, on around page 51, it says, it was question 9. It says, what would you say is the most critical issue facing Camilla/Ventura County today? The top one was job opportunities. That was at 19%. Then there was lack of growth. And what was tied with lack of growth, everybody, and I want everybody to pay attention to me on this here. What was tied with lack of growth is racial and social cohesion. That was on the minds, tied for second, for the people of our city. I've watched and read where local media, in particular newspaper, said to the people of this town that they, and I'm assuming he was referring, or the entity was referring to the 4 black members of this council, are looking out for their constituents, white residents, to be damned. It's pretty close quote. I don't know how that's helpful. There's been an opportunity, and especially here in shortly a week or so away from the birthday of Dr. King, that apparently 4 black men vote is along racial lines versus 4 men just agree on the issues at hand. And I'm reminded of the quote from Dr. King: one day, folks will be judged by character and not the color of their skin. I don't do black votes. I do votes that I believe, and I think I speak for the majority of this council, that we believe that are correct and right in what we believe in. I've been mayor now 5 years. I have never taken or asked for a motion for a black motion or a white motion. What you do have in our community, ladies and gentlemen, is systemic poverty that just so happens to impact the majority of this population, which just so happen to be African American. we can't take care of the folks that are in poverty, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what any of us are doing here. And if you're associating taking care of folks that are struggling with the color of their skin, shame on you. I had hoped that at the beginning of 2025, with the year that we had in 2024, that we were going to start off with a bit more harmony. It's obvious that there are some folks and entities, specifically in the local media, that are determined to tear this community apart. On the issue as it relates to property owners versus non-property owners. A week away from the birthday of Dr. King and a month away from Black History Month, let me tell you this. If you are an African American in this country and in this city, and you are a descendant of slaves, your blood, sweat, and tears is soaked in the very fabric of this community. You are part of this community, whether you have a deed in your name or not. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not class warfare. This is humanity. And I challenge everyone that can hear me right now to see this world and see our community through the prism of humanity. If you can do that, and I'll lead the charge. If you can do that, just maybe, prayerfully, that for the remainder of this year, we will have some robust debates that don't include sparring. We will debate. We will talk about things that is important to us. We will mean it strongly. We will vote, and we will move on. That's what I'm hoping and praying for this awesome city we live in. And I challenge everyone to join me in that quest. And with that, council, it appears we have reached the end of our agenda. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
We are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Yes, sir.
You go ahead.
Let's keep it.
Yeah, I know.